Hey, hi everyone. This is Vidya here from Bharti Technology. Are you all able to hear me clearly? Yes, am I audible clearly? Okay. Okay, then let us start with the session. Okay, so today we will be discussing about Unix and Linux. So what are these? What are Unix and Linux? Anyone has like heard about these terms previously? Have you ever heard about it? Unix, Linux? Yes, correct. That is an operating system. As you have Windows operating system, okay, or Mac operating system. So similarly, these are also the operating systems. Now, before discussing further about these things, we have to discuss something about what operating systems are and what all are the different type of operating systems. Okay, so can anyone tell me what operating systems are? Yes, Kavita, DOS is also, MS-DOS is also an operating system, but currently I'm asking what is an operating system? Okay, Samantha, it's an interface between. Yes, in simple terms you can say like that it is an interface between the computer and the user. Okay. So if you have an operating system installed onto your system, then only you would be allowed to install various applications, or you can say various softwares. Can you install any of the software without installing or without having an operating system on your system? Can you install any of the applications? No, you cannot. So the first base to start up the system is what? You should have an operating system, and onto the operating system you can install the supported softwares onto that. Okay, because different operating systems, they have different, they support different types of softwares. Okay, or maybe different versions. So without having an operating system, you cannot install any of the softwares onto the system. And if you cannot install any of the software, means you cannot execute any of the things, or uh, you cannot do anything onto your system without the operating system. Okay, so as Samantha told that it would be an interface between your user and the computer. Okay, so we can say that it is a set of programs okay that will manage the computer hardware and it will provide the common services that is executing some softwares. Okay, so these are the common services that it will provide you to do. Okay, so this is what an operating system is. Now, do you have any idea that what all are the different types of operating system we are using? What are the different types of operating system, or how can you categorize the operating system? Okay, Samantha, Windows, but this is the example of the categories. See, our operating system, these are widely being divided into two categories. Okay, or there are two types of operating system that we are dealing with. Okay, so the first is the GUI operating system, that is the graphical user interface. Yes, correct, Anandita. And the second one is the command line operating system. Okay, GUI operating system are what? Your Windows, okay, that we are using, and Mac. So these are some examples of your graphical user interface because they provide the user interface for the users, right? Whereas the command line operating systems, can you give me some examples for command line operating systems? Yes, Anuja. Unix would be a command line operating system. DOS, correct, Anandita? So Unix and your Linux also. Okay, then after that, MS-DOS. If you have worked ever upon, or have you ever seen, if you have seen about the screens about Unix, Linux or DOS, okay, then over there you must have seen that the screen is black screen which is present. Okay, it does not have any user interface. Okay, so that is why it is being categorized under a different category, and that is given the name as the command line operating system. Okay, whereas the operating system that is having a good interface, so those are Windows and Mac, and these are kept under the category of the GUI operating, that is the graphical user interface operating system. Okay, now can you tell me that when should you use the GUI operating system and when should you use this command line operating system? Yes. When should you use GUI operating system? Okay. Before answering this question, let me first ask you about these things, that if you have a personal system, okay, and if you have a server, then if you compare your personal system and the server in terms of the memory, so which will have more memory? Your personal systems or the servers are going to have more memory? Servers. Correct, Samantha. Yes. So the personal computers, they would be having the low memory as compared to the server. So they are going to have a high memory. Now if you talk in terms of number of users who would be using the personal computer and the number of users who would be using the server at the same time. So how many will be the people who would be using the personal computer at one time, and how many will be the people who would be using the server at one time, at the same time? So how many people can use your personal computer at the same time? One. Okay. And what about the servers? How many people can use the server at the same time? Yes, there could be many people who can use the server at the same time, right? Because server are designed for that thing only. Correct? Now, in terms of speed, is if you talk about that, whether your personal computer will be having a good speed or whether the server will be having a high speed. So for that, let me give you an example. Um, Let me open a command prompt over here. Okay, and in this command prompt, let me make a directory or a folder. Okay, with the name as Vidya. Okay, now let us see whether it is made or not. So it should be present under the users and Bhagyatech. Okay, so let us search for it. So under the C drive in users, and under that, under the Bhagyatech, so I'm into C drive users Bhagyatech, and over there can you see a folder is made over here as Vidya, and when it is being created, can you see the date and the time? Yes, so it is created right now. Now, if you have to create a folder, so that was, we have created a folder by using the command prompt, that is you can say a command prompt operating system. Okay, but if you want to use or if you want to create a folder using your GUI operating system, how are you going to use it or how are you going to create it? If I ask you to create a folder on Windows, how are you going to create that? Yes, so you are going to right click and then go to new and create a folder, right? Now while doing this thing, see over here in this front end, you are able to see that what you are doing is you are just right clicking, going to new and then clicking onto the folder and the things are done, right? And over here you have given a command and the things are done. But when you talk about the GUI operating system, as I told you that you are just right clicking with the help of the mouse and you are clicking onto new and clicking the folder. But don't you think that there are n number of programs or there would be some programs which would be executed at the backend in order to create this folder, which we are not able to see? We are just able to see the icons, right? So don't you think at the backend, in the backend, there are some programs which are executed when you right click, then there would be some programs which are executed when you click onto that new and folder. Don't you think for that? So there would be some certain programs which would be executed, right or wrong? Yes. So for creating a certain folder while using your Windows operating system or while using your Mac, or you can say in simple terms about the GUI operating system. Okay, so if you are using the GUI operating system in order to create a folder, there are certain programs which are executed. Okay, and if I'm using the command prompt, so what is executing over here if I have to create a folder? Is there some programs which are executed, or is there a certain command which is executed? What is being executed? A command. Okay. Now tell me which would take more time to execute, a single command or a group of commands which are in a program? Which will take more time? Correct, Samantha. A group of commands. Yes, Saujanya. So a group of commands, or you can say the programs, will take more time to get executed in comparison to a single command. Okay, now tell me which will have more speed. Your personal system will give you more speed, or your servers are going to give you more speed? Uh, Correct, Anandita. Server is going to give you more speed. How personal computer can give you more speed? See, obviously, the things are created with the within fractions of seconds in GUI operating system also. But as I told you that while doing the things, or like I gave you the example of creating a folder, right? So when you are creating a folder in GUI operating system, so there are certain programs which are executed. Okay, obviously the programs are going to take more time to get executed with respect to the server or in comparison to the server. Okay, so the speed of the server is going to be high. Okay, I am not saying that the speed of the personal computers is going to be slow, because nowadays the personal computers also, they have a very good, very high hardware and software configurations. Okay, so we are going to, or like we can do things in fractions of seconds also over there. But with respect to server, yes, the personal computers are going to have a comparatively a low speed than a server. Okay, so if you talk in terms about the speed, then they are going to have low speed in comparison to the servers. So they are going to be of high speed. Now, about the operating system, if we talk about, so personal computers are using what, GUI operating system or the command line operating system? In your personal computers, what are you using, GUI or command line? GUI. Why? Why GUI? Yes, it is easy to use this type of things because the graphical user interface itself says that it is very user friendly. Okay, so it can be easily understood by any person who is using it. Okay, and in servers, since they are being used by the technical people only, okay, and the speed is also high, and there are lot many number of people who are getting connected to the server. Okay, and it has a very high memory, so the operating, these are being handled by the technical people. Okay, so the operating system which would be used in the server, that would be command line operating system. Okay, so we have discussed over here like the speed would be slow, but we can say that Okay, so we discussed about how to create a folder over here. Now, if now you can give me the answer for the question that when to use GUI operating system and when to use your command line operating system. Can you tell me now if I have given you these classifications between the two? Now can you tell me that when to use your GUI operating system and when to use the command line operating system? See, we have listed down over here wherein the personal computers are there. Okay, so over that point you can use the GUI operating system, and wherein some high server with a high memory is being used up, therein you can use the command line operating system, because that would be tackled up by the highly technical people. Now tell me one thing, if I have to give or if I have to use this command line operating system and create a new folder or create any file over here, can a normal person create it who does not know any of the commands? If you don't know any of the commands for creating the files and the folders, so can you create it? No. So for using this operating system, that is the command line operating system, you should know about the commands which are present in that, so that you are able to create the things. Okay, so a normal person cannot use it, so therefore in personal computers we do not recommend to use the command line operating system. This is also one of the reasons, and also since it is not user friendly also. And over here we don't have to deal with, in by using the personal computers, we don't have to deal with many users and a very high memory also, so we can keep up the things to a GUI operating system. Now this was about the two types of operating system that we are having. Okay, now coming to the main thing that is to be discussed for today is the Unix and the Linux. These two operating systems are almost the same, just the difference would be your Unix is a paid operating system. Okay, you'll have to buy a license for Unix in order to execute the things over there. Okay, and Linux operating system, it is an open source operating system, and the source code is also available freely. So if you want to customize the things also as per your requirements, so you can do that. Okay. And as we know that Unix and Linux, these both are the command line operating systems, and majorly the command lines, or you can say the command line operating systems, can be used or are used wherein there are some servers or there are some workstations associated with. Okay, so you are going to use this so these are used in the workstations and the servers, and also the mobile devices. Okay, and there are some flavors for Unix. So what are the flavors for Unix which are present? They are the Sun Solaris, then is the IBM AIX. Okay, so these are some flavors for Unix, and if we talk about Linux, so as I told you that Linux, it is a Unix like operating system only, but the only difference it is freely available. Okay, so you can download it for free, and you can also get the source code with that, so that if you want to customize the things, then you can do as per the recommendations which are required. Okay, so for Linux you can write it as okay, which is freely available, or you can say that it is an open source operating system. So it includes all that. It is freely available, and also it is the source code is also available. Okay, so it is an open source operating system. Okay, so flavors are the examples. Okay, I'll write it as the example only. So that is Red Hat Enterprise for Linux. Okay, now as testers, what you have to do for in this Unix and Linux? See, as testers, your scope is very much limited, and many of the times you won't be even asked to work upon Unix or Linux, because this is not the thing that are majorly to be done by the testers. Okay, and if you are also like being asked, as I told you, that you would be given a very limited scope, because these are some things which are asked by the system admin, or which is the responsibility of the system admin people to work. Okay, so if you are asked in some of the projects to work upon Unix or Linux, then you would be having a secondary role just to assist the system admin people. Okay, but many of the times you must not be asked also. Okay, maybe like out of 100%, I would say that there are some 5% chances wherein you will be asked in a project to work upon Unix or Linux. Okay, so what is the tester's role in Unix and Linux? So as I told you that there would be a very limited scope for the testers to work upon it. So you just have to check that whether the server is up and running or not. Okay, and if it is not up and running, if it is down, then you'll have to start the server. Okay, so just you'll have to just log into the server, go to the directories, check whether the server is running or not. Okay, and if it is not, then you'll have to run some script files, which are the programs. Okay, and then you'll have to whatever the log is being created, that is the output which is being created after the execution of the files, you'll have to just log that log file that is being created, the output file. You'll have to just send it file to the concerned person who is there in the project, and then he can take care of the following things. So your scope is very much limited over here in Unix and Linux. Okay, so you'll have to check that whether the server is up or not. Okay, if it is not, then you'll have to run the script files, which are the programs. Then you need to check the log files, which are the output files. Okay, so whatever output is being created after execution, so you'll have to check the log files and send it to the concerned person. Okay, so this is the role of a tester over here in Linux and Unix. But you should know some of the basic commands if you have to check for the server. Okay, so in order to know about that, you should know some of the basic commands. Now, how you have to do the things over here? For that, we are going. Okay, so let me first go to the putty tool. So here it is. Okay, somehow I was speaking and I was not able to get any response. Okay, am I audible now to everyone? Okay, I guess there was some problem. Okay, so there is a putty tool. I'll just double click on it. Okay, then we need to give the IP address of the server that we want to connect to. Okay, so the IP address would be 192.94.73.15. Okay, and then click onto this open button. Then you have to give the login name, that is the username. So the username is Bhagyatech Training. From Bhagyatech Training only G is missing. Okay. Then for the password, that is Bhagyatech. Okay. So whenever you are going to write down the password in Unix or Linux, okay, so that password won't be visible neither in the encrypted format nor in the another format. Okay, so it is not visible. Though I have written the password, are you able to see that I have written something over there? Are you able to see anything onto my screen? No. Okay, because it does not shows any of the things. Okay, but I am getting logged in. So here I am. Now we can execute our commands. Okay, so the first command that I want to show is the help command that is used for seeing that what all help is provided. Okay, now why I wanted to show you this command is, see, over here when I typed help, there are certain commands which are coming. Okay, and if you see onto this Unix, so it is showing me that if I'll type Unix, it will give me a list of Unix commands that is available to me for now that I can execute over here. Okay, now let me type Unix over here. Now, these are some of the commands which are available for me, but right now I am not given the authority uh, by the Bhagyatech server to create a file. I am given the authority to create a directory. Can you see over here? mkdir. I can create a directory. Okay, so that command I can show you over here, but just about to that, that is a cat command. Okay, So with this cat command, I can concatenate or I can view a file, but I am not given any authority to create a file over here. Okay, so there is some problem over here. So this is the reason I was showing you this thing, that with the Unix I can show you that I'm not given the authority to create a file, but yes, I'm given the authority to create a file. So for creating the files, with mkdir I can create the directory but not the files. Okay, so I can show you some commands over here, but after that we would be moving on to a Cygwin terminal, okay, which is a simulator for Unix, and we can execute our commands over there for the files. Okay, but right now over here I can show you that how you can create the directory. So for creating the directory, the command is mkdir. Then you can give the name of the directory. So suppose say I want to give the name of the directory as test2. Okay, so over here a directory is made. How you can check that how the directory is made? So there is a command named as ls, which will list all the directories and the files which are there. Okay, so can you see over here that there are some directories with the name as f1, then some with the name as, there is one directory with the name as f1, one with the name as test, then there is one file with the name as test.txt, and currently we have created one directory, that is test2. Can you see that over here onto my screen? Okay, but major things that we have to do, okay, so that is onto the files only. So I won't be using the putty tool for now. I would be using the Cygwin terminal. I have downloaded a simulator for Unix, that is the Cygwin terminal. So you people can also download it and you can work upon it. So make sure that before coming up to the next session, that is for tomorrow, you have the Cygwin terminal. I'll just type the name over here in the chat box. Okay, so you can download it and you can use it. Anandita, just type the Cygwin terminal onto the Google, you will be able to get it. Okay, and now we can try our commands over here. Okay, and the first command is the, okay, let me do the mkdir over here also. So that is for creating the directory. So mkdir, then let us give the name as batch. Okay, and then with the ls command, let us see. So there is one directory which has been created with the name as batch, and prior to that there were some directories with the name as f1, then the file1, then Raghu Vidya. Okay, so these are the way, like this is the way in which we can create a directory over here. Now if you want to create a file, first see onto my screen and then you can download the things and can try it. Okay, so for creating the directory, the command would be mkdir. Okay, now if you want to create a file, so the command would be, there are two ways in which you can create a file. So let me tell you the first way in which you can create. So the first command will be the touch command, and then after that you need to give the name of the file. So let me give the name of the file as test1.txt. Okay, so give the name of the file with the extension as .txt. Okay, and then click enter. So in this way a file is being created. If you want to see that whether the file is created or not, So for listing all the things, we have ls command, just list. So can you see over here that the file is being created, that is test1.txt. See, previously it was not present. Yes. Now if you want to write something into this text file, if you want to add some of the things, or if you want to write some of the things into this test file or into this file that we have created, then the command would be cat double greater than sign, and then after that you need to give the name of the file again. So that is text test1.txt. Okay, and after that you can give the things that you want to give over here. Suppose say okay, so when you have finished writing, you can press Ctrl D. So again to your prompt. Clear with this thing, everyone? How to create a file? Let me put the steps over here. Tasneem, okay, let me try to explain you. See, we discussed something about operating system, then what all are the types of operating system, okay, a bit about Unix and Linux, and what is the tester's role in this Unix and Linux operating system, what you have to do as a tester. Okay, then after that we just started with the commands. So mkdir was the first command that I was explaining when you were there. Okay. Okay. So mkdir directory name would give you the, sorry, that would create the directory for you. Okay. Then the second command that we used was for creating the files. So for that, the first way I was telling you, that was with the touch command. So we have discussed only about the first way. So with the touch and then the file name, so you can create an empty file. Now why I am saying so empty file, I'll explain it to you, but that would be clear when I'll tell you the next command or the next way of creating the file. Okay. So for now, let me just write it down over here that it will create an empty file. Now if you want to add something onto that file, then you'll have to use the cat command with double greater than symbol and then the file name. Okay, so this will open the file for editing or writing, whatever you want to say. Okay, so after you have written down over there, then you need to press Ctrl D to come out of that or to come back to your command prompt. Okay, clear with these three things? And yes, with ls you can list down the things that are present. So you can see the list of all the directories and the files. Clear? No, Pachai, my screen is not freezed. I'm writing down the commands over here for you all. Are you not able to see my notepad which is opened? Kathy, can we name the file any name means? Kathy, I didn't got your question. So yes, you can give any name to the files. It is not that you have to give. Oh, you are asking about this, the file name. I'm just writing over here because over here you don't have to give the file name. As I have written, it would be any name that you are wanting to give to your file. Okay. Yes, Anuja, you have to use it in the lowercase only. Yes, Kirti, I would be mailing it to you all. See, Anuja, since this is a simulator, okay, so it won't be doing each and everything. Okay, but yes, it would be doing 95% of the things, or it would be executing 95% of the commands which are executed in the Unix server. It does not majorly it does not support the clear command, which is one of the commands in order to clear the screen. Okay, so it says that the command is not found. Okay, and in some cases it gives the command also. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say, that majorly it will do the functions, the major functions it is trying to it is doing, but for some 2 or 3 commands it is not showing up. Okay, but since I have to tell you about the files, and there is more about the files that we need to discuss, so this is the reason. And over there I was not able to open any of the files, I was not able to create any of the files, so this was the only way that was left. Okay, now, so this was one of the way in which you can create the file, okay, by using the touch command. So that would create an empty file for you, and after that if you want to append or if you want to add the contents onto the file, then you'll have to use the cat command with double greater than symbol, and then you need to give the file name, and after that you can write the contents onto the file, and for coming back to the command prompt, you'll have to press the control with D. Okay, so control D. So you are back, your things are saved and you are back to the file. Now if you want to see that what all things you have written in any of the files, so for that again the command used will be the cat only, but this time with no symbol. And suppose I want to see for, I have written for test1 only, I want to see the contents which are present in the test1 file. So cat with no symbol, just a space and then the file name. So that will open the file for me in view mode, so that I can just view that file. Okay, I am not given the authority to edit any of the things onto that file with this command. Okay, and now if you want to, the another way that I was talking about to create a file, so that was the cat command only, but with one symbol of greater than and then the file name. So let me take okay, before moving further, please don't try to unmute yourself. If you have any questions, write it over in the chat box, because it creates a lot of noise, and also the Visio gets unstable. Yes, Kirti, clear command is working in real time. Like if you want to just clear out the screen, I want from the top, I don't want all the things that are done. So for that you can use the clear command. Okay. So over here I was creating one more file. So let me name the file as now test2.txt. txt. Okay, and now click. Can you see over here the file is being created, but now I'm not back to the command prompt. What is this asking me to do? That the file with the name test2 is created. Now whatever you want to write onto that file, you can write it over here. Okay, so after writing down, I'll just press Ctrl D as the way I was doing over there to come back to the prompt. So cat with single greater than symbol and the file name, that will create a file, and also over there only you can write down the contents of the file also. Whereas the touch command, you were able to create a file but you were not able to write anything onto that with the touch command. So this means that it was creating an empty file for you. Okay, clear with this thing? So Samantha, let me just write down all the commands over here so that you will be able to figure out the difference. Okay, so if I'm using cat with double symbols greater than symbol and the file name, so that will open the file which is previously created by you. Okay, and that would be open in the editable mode, or you can write down onto that file. And if you are not using any of the symbol and directly giving the cat and the file name, okay, so that will open the file in view mode for you. Okay, and if you are using the cat symbol and the greater than symbol, cat and then the greater than symbol once, and then giving the file name, so that will create a file and will ask to add the contents also. Okay, is it clear now, Samantha? Okay, so you can try to note down these things for now, the commands. Okay, and because I would be sharing this document after the next class. Okay, when once I'm done with the document. So tomorrow also we'll be having a 1 hour session in which we will be dealing with the other commands that I have to tell you. Okay, so I would just want you to note down these commands so that you, when you have installed your Segwin terminal, so you can practice these commands. Okay, so just note it down and install the Segwin terminal tomorrow, like before coming into the session.